Hi, everybody. My name is Marie Scott, creator and founder of Happy and Healthy After Widowhood. And thank you for joining us on today's Zoominar about solo Zs. I'm a health and grief coach for widows and widowers. I'm a published author of 3 books. Retired Captain William David Scott took his last breath on this earth in my arms, just as he wished at home, on April 15th, 2018. It was the most devastating minute of my life and one of the most beautiful as well, knowing that his wishes over the prior 6 months since he was diagnosed with esophageal cancer, we were able to make true. And the biggest one was not taking chemo and staying at home, not being admitted to the hospital under any circumstance. Just a little bit about my background. I had 8 brothers and sisters and mom and dad. Our family health history, the only thing going for us in our family health history was longevity. Dad lived to 90, mom was 92. My brother George passed away of ALS. And when I discovered functional medicine, which really strives to get to the root of what's causing autoimmune diseases and things that are running through my family, they actually sat down with me and did a family history. My brother's hyperthyroidism and my sister's hypothyroidism, celiac disease, Graves' disease, breast cancer, all of these awful things, including ALS, which my brother passed from, which I didn't even realize was an autoimmune disease. So this led me on a journey to discover and get to the root of my own health issues, things like pre-diabetic, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, living on Imodium, severe gut issues. And this all led me to go down a path of learning more about the link between food as medicine. And I discovered the Living Proof Institute and their Essentials program. And within 6 short weeks of being on this program, I literally transformed my health. I was able to drop 30 pounds, and better yet, and these 30 pounds I've been carrying around for over 20 years. And better yet, I was off all prescription meds, no more high blood pressure, no more antidepressants, because that's the first thing they give a widow. No more cholesterol, no more statin drugs, and better yet, my prediabetes reversed. So that was all by changing my food preferences and what I ate, and in 6 short weeks, this happened. It led me to go back to school. I was 30 years in technology world and traveled the world with Oracle and did all kinds of super things. I was a pre-sales consultant, I was a client manager, I was a global enterprise manager, and all of these things led me to rethink how much I knew about food as medicine. And when I went back to school, I knew there was a link between food and cancer and food and Alzheimer's. That's what my mom passed of the same year, but I didn't know why. And I knew it was too late to save mom and Dave, but it wasn't too late to save myself. And went back to school to become a certified functional medicine health coach, and it began my life transformation. I retired from Oracle and embarked on a mission and purpose for Life Part 2 to help other widows and widowers embrace life again and become happy and healthy after widowhood. When I became a health coach, I finished my book, and I was able to articulate the 7 steps to healing after loss. And the 3rd step, improved sleep, is what we're going to focus on today. I have tons of information on each of the steps I've shared in prior Zoominars. And the one today we're going to focus on is improved sleep. And it's right up there at top because I personally feel that if you're not sleeping well, then you're not going to feel well, and it doesn't help the widow fog at all. So the first thing that I remember battling with after Dave died was, now what do? Do I sleep on my pillow? Do I sleep on his pillow? Do I cover the whole bed, spread out like a starfish? Do I buy a body pillow and hug that? So it became a humorous way to deal with this topic. What the heck do you do now? And in my personal situation, I ended up sleeping on the same side, but I put a wall of pillows up in between Dave's spot and my spot, and I still sleep on that side to this day. So Dave was a snorer, and he sounded like a gorilla in heat. It was terrible. And he had a brain aneurysm, burst brain aneurysm back in 2008. And he had a craniotomy, which basically they cut half his head up, snipped at the aneurysm, and that cured his snoring. Not a recommended path by any means, but it cured his snoring, if you can believe that. It was good for me, but not so good for, and not a recommended path. So I truly believe in humor in life and everyday situations. And I love this picture of the cat doing a somersault into bed, jumping up and down on the pillows. And also, one thing my friend Donna did is she started a dream journal. And she came up with outrageous bedtime stories. And the dream journal is a really cool way to, if you've got stuff on your mind, get it off your mind and onto a piece of paper. It's a surefire way to help you sleep better. So to improve sleep, let's talk about different ways and different actions you can take right now. And first of all, why is this so important? Well, you spend 1/3 of your life sleeping. And during sleep, your bodies actually restore themselves and gives you better mental focus and function. And a bonus of getting good sleep is it actually manages to keep your weight down. And the other age-old question is how much sleep? How much sleep do you need? Well, the studies show that if you wake up an hour before sunshine and go to bed at the same time, that's the best way to set your own sleep rhythm. And for me personally, we wake up at the crack of dawn, and it's funny because we share time between Maine and Florida. And next week when I go back to Florida, sunrise there is 4 o'clock in the morning. And so we wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning all summer long. Yet here in Florida, it's an hour and a half later. And so we're usually up here by 6:45, 7 o'clock when the sun rises. And we try to go to bed by 10 o'clock every night. So we try to set our own sleep schedule to sunrise and also trying to make sure we're ready to go to bed at 10. The circadian rhythms have a lot to do with healthy sleep habits as well. I remember my mentor, Sachin, from the Living Proof Institute, used to say, get out in the sunrise as soon as you get up, within an hour, and get outside for 5 minutes, get the sun in your face, and get out at noontime. And at the time, we were living on a golf course in Charleston, and he said, and if possible, get outside naked. Well, it's kind of hard. We lived on a golf course. I could just imagine them driving by the cart path and yelling, put it back on, put it back on. So that is not feasible unless you're living by yourself in the woods. And then also getting out at sunset for 5 minutes, getting the 3 times a day to help set your circadian rhythms. Temperature for me is one of the most important things. Our bedroom is set at 67, and you can actually see your breath. And it's really, really cool. We sleep with a weighted duvet, and they've proven that the optimal temperature for sleep is between 60 to 68. And I think 60 is a little too extreme, especially up in Maine, but 67 for us is the perfect temperature. Try this challenge for 7 days. Set your temperature lower than what you're used to sleeping at and see if it makes a difference. And come back into the Facebook group and see how this challenge goes. Reset your sleep for 7 days, set the temperature cooler. To avoid 2 hours before bedtime is definitely food, alcohol, and caffeine. I stopped drinking caffeine usually after my second cup of mushroom coffee in the morning. So I'm usually done with caffeine by 10 o'clock, and definitely nothing after 12 o'clock. And the food and the alcohol is important so that your body has time to reset and clear before you put your head down on the pillow. You definitely want to avoid nighttime stress or tension. I remember Sachin saying, turn the news off, stop watching the news, because it just adds so much stress and tension to what you're trying to do is wind down and before bed. Electronic screens, Ellen discovered EMF is so important. If you've got insomnia and you've got electronics by your bed, or if you've got blue lights on, that can be the cause of your insomnia. Also, try to avoid exercise before 6. I'm a morning person anyway, so it's pretty easy for me to avoid electronic screen or avoid exercise unless I'm taking a short walk after dinner. But definitely watch those screens. If you still have problems sleeping, there are some natural supplements that can work. Too often, as a widow, they'll prescribe sleeping pills, and it's the worst thing you can do because it can affect other organs in your body, like your adrenals, and sometimes sleeping pills can become addictive. But there are some natural supplements that can help, things like melatonin or magnesium, and definitely meditation and breath work can help. Getting movement during the day is also key to getting a good night's sleep. I'm a morning person to work out. I wear an Aura ring, and I've worn one for about 4 years. And I always used to wear a Fitbit, a little Fitbit that you could tuck in your pocket. And I wore it to track my steps. And then when they stopped making that model, I started researching watches and Apple Watches. I thought, no, I don't want to wear a watch to bed. But I discovered the Aura ring, and the Aura ring is amazing. One of the best things it does is track your deep sleep, REM sleep. And last week I put a post out about this. I woke up to this message. Congratulations, you are a sleep champion. My sleep score is usually 90 or higher. And the sleep champion was for being a good sleep person for a couple weeks prior. But it's so cool to help you track your sleep along with other things. Measures your sleep stages like light sleep. It also shows you if you've had significant movement during the night, and measures your heart rate variability. And along with your heart rate, your resting heart rate, and mine's under 50 normally, but the heart rate variability, or HRV, is the amount of time in between heartbeats. So it's an important indicator of longevity and of good health. And the best thing about the Aura ring is it helps bring awareness to your sleep schedule. If I'm not sleeping well, it'll give suggestions like, maybe you should not eat so late before bedtime. We're guilty of that. Sometimes we don't eat until 7 or 7:30, but it gives you tips on how to avoid that a low sleep score. One of my favorite tips is 4-7-8 breathing, and basically you inhale for the count of 4 and 2 and 3 and 4. You hold for a count of 7, and then you exhale for a count of 8. This is a proven technique to help relax you and relax your mind and body. And also, this is quite useful if you're stuck in traffic. Traffic here in Florida can be pretty crazy. I employ this a lot to keep calm. And 4-7-8 is one of my go-to breathing techniques. There's a lot of other ones. There's box breathing, which is inhale for the count of 4, hold for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4. And this is the shape of a box. So many, many different ways to employ breathing techniques to help you relax and sleep better. One other thing I discovered during the sleepless nights after Dave first passed away was yoga nidra. I love yoga, and I discovered yoga nidra, which is night yoga. And basically, it's a guided meditation to help you relax from your head to your toes. And it's really a great tool to put on a meditation and just relax everything from your face, your forehead, your jaw, your neck, your shoulders. And it's a guided meditation, about 15 minutes, all the way to the tips of your toes. And this doesn't ever fail me for falling asleep if I can't fall asleep immediately. As the creator of Happy and Healthy After Widowhood, I'm living proof you can embrace life again. And if you haven't already, get yourself booked on my calendar. You can find this on my website at Marie Scott Wellness. And let's see if there's other areas I can help you with besides sleep. Maybe there's other ways of areas of health or grief that you're dealing with that I can help you with. Thanks for joining today. If you're not part of the Facebook community, be active in our community. We're united in this thing called widowhood, and it's awesome to be around people who get it, who get what we're going through. Just for joining today, I'll send you my report on tips for better sleep. There's a little bit of humor injected, some different ideas, and I want to leave you with one thing. If you've never heard of the sleep doctor, he has a great quiz, and who doesn't like taking a quiz? But you can Google the sleep doctor, and you can take your chronotype quiz. And I'm a bear, which means I'm a morning person. So I like to work out in the morning. I do my best creative work in the morning. And it's a really cool free quiz. It takes about 2 minutes, and find out your chronotype to see how you too can sleep better.